NorthJerseySports.com Athlete of the Week. You can nominate an athlete by tweeting at us, hashtag NJSAOTW, or emailing us at njsaotw@gmail.com.
Last year, this team went 11-1, but that one loss came in the section final at MetLife Stadium. Although they lose a lot of players in the trenches, many skilled players return as this team looks to make the 10-minute drive back to the Meadowlands and win a section title. Welcome to this episode of Where in North Jersey is Rich Barton, Preseason Edition. Today we're visiting the Rutherford Football team. Last year they went 11-1 and advanced to their first section final in 12 years. Today we'll be talking to head coach Andrew Howell, quarterback Tom Reid, and tailback Kevin Kosakowski about the upcoming season. Rutherford won its first 11 games last year and advanced to the section final for the first time since 2003. They lose plenty of offense with quarterback Nick Birchby and 4/5 of their offensive line having graduated, but there's still a lot of offensive firepower as Tom Reid moves from wide receiver to quarterback. Top wide receiver Laris Millick returns, as does Kevin Kosakowski, one of North Jersey's top playmakers. Coach Andy Howell wants to build off of the community spirit from making the state final last year to begin building a small school football power at Rutherford.
Last year was a lot of fun. From that Glen Rock game when we opened up, winning that tight game that came down to the last play of the game, all the way into our semifinal win against Hanover Park. The community really just rallied around us. The kids had a blast. It was, it was a lot of fun, but unfortunately, it didn't end the way we wanted to, and we're kind of using that for motivation to get back at it this year. We're really telling these kids to remember the way they felt watching Madison celebrate on the field, and keep that inside and channel that and use it. And remember that when you come out this season.
Last year definitely was like a fantasy to me. Definitely whole school coming together, whole community. We really put together like a show for everybody. I mean, it was really something to look forward to every week, every Friday night. It was such a great experience. Hopefully we can feel the same this year. Just trying to get as many yards as possible, just trying to score as many points as possible.
You don't have to be a genius to figure it out, to get him the ball and find creative ways to get him the ball, and he could score anytime he touches it. I think a lot of teams know that, and they're going to be gunning for him, and that's a good thing that we have a lot of other talent at the skill positions as well. We return pretty much all of our running backs and all of our wide receivers. So Tom Reid has stepped it up at quarterback. He was a wide receiver, starting wide out for the last few years for us. He was actually an all-county wide out last year. I love the way he's managing the offense, and he seems very confident in there. It seems like he's been doing it forever. You would not think that this is a first-year quarterback. And as far as your offensive line, that was clearly our biggest hole to fill. In the offseason, we had to replace 4 out of 5. The only returner is Melfit center. And some of the guys that stepped up were Sean Williams and Vinny Nikolic, who were starting D tackles for us last year, the ends. They're going to be two-way guys for us this year. And then we're counting on a couple younger guys, like Lawson Fisher, who was a JV kid. He's a sophomore, to step up this year and hopefully transition from freshman to varsity football.
It is tough learning the new position, but I've played it before, so it's not too hard. I know most of the routes already from playing receiver. But the hardest part is really just the pocket presence. I'm still getting used to that.
My offense is coming together. Our O-line, we lost a lot of starters, but the kids coming back are definitely tough enough to get the job done again.
Anthony Melford, he's our returning center. He's been really holding the line down, but some of the newer guys, Lawson Fisher and Vinny Nikolic, they're really, and new kid, Jesse Madden, they're really holding together well, the big kids.
Rutherford's 2 toughest tests come early in the season, both on the road. They open on the 9th against Glen Rock before traveling to face Garfield on the 30th.
It's more of a roller coaster at a small school like Rutherford. Obviously, when we first started, we were up. We were in the playoffs 3 years in a row. We went through a rebuilding process for 2 years, and then last year happened. And I think that's at pretty much any small school like Rutherford, where you're struggling against numbers and kids not coming out for football. It's hard to keep it afloat and just be a powerhouse at a small school consistently. And that's our goal, really, is to try to get to that point and make Rutherford into a small school powerhouse where we're not going to have those down years.
Just the feeling after that game was terrible, and it really lights a fire under you to get back at it this season.
Just feeling that feeling at MetLife Stadium, that coming down from that loss, just made me and all the returning starters 10 times more confident and more like we want revenge back on Madison. That's it. I mean, we want to get that feeling back again the right way.
After further review, the Bulldogs won their first 11 games and reached their first state final since 2003, galvanizing the community along the way. I think when they lost to Madison in the state final, that loss is going to be motivation for this year's team. I think there are going to be some bumps in the road early, especially week 1 when they lose to Glen Rock. But I think that's going to be their last loss the rest of the way as they go all the way to the state final and get their rematch with Madison before winning a section title. Well, that wraps things up here with Rutherford. Log on to NorthJerseySports.com and find out where I'll be next. All guests on today's episode receive $5 in Moe's Bucks from Moe's Southwest Grill in Clifton. Retweet this episode with the hashtag Moe's Clifton for a chance to win $5 in Moe's Bucks yourself.